Hey everyone. So I've got done reading your Code of Ethics analysis essay drafts, and I've just got some comments that I wrote down that I'm going to share with you. There's kind of some general things that I saw in the essays, and these are things that might help you out. I will also post this list online along with this video. So first thing, make sure that you give me a creative title that communicates an idea about what the reader will see in the essay. It's really important to kind of invite the reader in. Another thing that popped up a lot was how people used anecdotes, right? Personal stories to help illustrate ethical concepts. Just remember that the personal experience anecdotes should be as compact as possible and should support the analysis, not dominate the entire essay. The stronger essays focused on one or two anecdotes and made really deep connections to various frameworks, like the framework for thinking ethically, the right versus right framework, and the what is right video. Also remember that our code of ethics are pretty malleable, and I think our codes change over the course of our lives, so it's really important to show spots in your life where your code of ethics have changed and why. In terms of the readings and the class concepts and incorporating them into the essays, make sure that you don't confuse morals with ethics, right? Ethics is the study of moral decision making. In other words, ethics is a framework for studying moral decisions that we make. Morals are our sense of right and wrong. Ethics give us a way to systematically analyze our moral decisions to make sure they are well-founded, and that's ultimately what you're doing in this essay. You're trying to make sure that your beliefs are well-founded by analyzing them deeply through a number of frameworks. If you mention an approach, mention the article or the framework that it came from. For example, you'd say, Rushworth Kidder, author of The Ethics of Right versus Right, mentions 4 dilemma paradigms. The truth versus loyalty paradigm helps describe a situation I faced when one of my friends blah blah blah. Don't just say, Kidder says truth versus loyalty does this, right? You need to establish a little bit of the context in order to show the credibility of the sources that you're using. And anytime you mention the paradigms or approaches, you need to make sure that you cite them at least the first time. When dealing with codes of ethics based on religion, do your best not to just land on, well, that's what the Bible says. Or, well, that's what this sacred text says. Really dig into the ideas and ask, why does the Bible or the Quran or whatever sacred text you may be using say this? Why are these beliefs important outside of the religious context? Because a lot of them are applicable even if you're atheist or agnostic. Also, another thing to think about is the golden rule. Some people misinterpret that. Make sure that it's treat others as they would like to be treated. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And then also, I would offer a alternative to that. Treat others as they would like to be treated. That way, you have to actually talk to them and find out something about them in order to understand where they're coming from. Some other things about audience and voice that you could take a look at. If you make a reference to something you did in the past, please describe that decision that you made in detail. Otherwise, the reader is left wondering about or not sure how to give importance to that decision. Knowing the stakes of that decision and the context makes the writing more powerful to the reader, and it's a better example. Also, don't assume that the reader is in the class, right? Reference the readings as if for a general audience, not somebody who already knows about the assignment and who already knows about the sources. Watch out for the pronoun you. Don't refer to yourself in a personal essay as you. Like own it, be it. Like say I when you mean I. Another thing to watch out for is don't say my first and most important code is. Right? You have one code. It's the collection of all the principles that you have on there. So say ethical principle instead, or this element of my code. The code is the whole collection, so make sure you distinguish between those. A lot of you did a really nice job of describing your next move in the essay, even if you didn't get a chance to write it, so I thought that was really good. And the last thing I want to talk about are just kind of some nuts and bolts, some random things. Somebody in one of the essays mentioned, I'm not a rule-based kind of guy. Kant would not like me. And I thought that was really great because it showed me that there was an understanding of the concept in kind of an interesting way, as opposed to just trying to quote Kant or just trying to, bring something in just because you have to. That showed me that there was a clear understanding of the concept and it was related to the person. Also, some people mentioned the idea of cognitive dissonance, right? Where you've believed something for your whole life and then something else comes along that you also know to be true that contradicts that previous held belief, right? So check that out. Those are great spots to look at in your code of ethics analysis because those are where your ethics change. If you bring up an important quote in the first paragraph, make sure that you come back to it a couple of times. Otherwise, the reader's left wondering, okay, you said this in the very beginning, it seemed important, but I haven't seen it since. Always kind of circle back to your first ideas. Also think about, what unique ideas would make your essay stand out from others in the class, right? Everyone is tasked with the same assignment. What is going to make yours different and unique compared to other writers in the class? And then that's pretty much it. A lot of really good drafts. I was quite pleased, and so I'm looking forward to see the revisions of these. And also consider as you revise it that you might want to turn this in for the President's Writing Awards, which are due on Monday. And that's about it. See you later.